there is a huge investment in some roofs that people have to make. And at the end of the day, it comes down to the emotional connection that you develop with the people. And nowadays, everything is so transactional. So how did you develop the emotional connection? Because I can bet that emotional connection would have definitely helped you when you started your own business as well. That's the skill of developing the emotional connection with the homeowners.
Yeah. So early on, I armed myself with knowledge. And when I would walk into a situation and meet with a customer, I wanted to present myself as the most knowledgeable person, the person that had the knowledge, that they were going to speak to get them from point A to point B. So it's a complex process. It's a process that can get drawn out. People don't, they want results. And I really came into the industry in the age of this, really where they started getting hard on denials. So being able to come with solutions, being able to talk about the solutions, and being able to explain to them, this is what's going to happen. And then each of those things starting to come true. They start to trust you at that point. That's where that connection really starts to develop. I think whenever say the insurance carrier, for example, starts doing exactly what you say that you're going to do, and then they get emotional about that denial also, I think that's really where that connection develops. Now, very early on, I'll say I didn't have the emotional connection, that I can develop now with what I do and how and what my passion is. Okay. And that's putting on, a better roof. I was just trying to put on a roof then. I was trying to provide for my family. I was trying to make money. And it's kind of, there's in the fishing industry, we talk about the different stages of being a fisherman. The first stage is you just want to catch a fish. Then the second stage is you want to catch a bunch of fish. And then your third stage is you want to get specific and you want to, catch big fish. You want to catch trophy fish at that point, and for me, it's developed the same way. I just wanted to get a roof at that point. And then I was trying to get the volume of those roofs at a certain point. These days, I'm trying to focus on a certain set of customers that are willing to let me do the things that need to be done to do it correct, to do it to code at a very minimum. And if we can afford to, and the situations and the cards play correctly, then we can do it beyond code also. So certainly I can really talk about situations now when I'm talking with a customer about where I've been. Like I said, we're proximity to the coast here. We're Hurricane Alley and here in Louisiana, like we're going to catch one, at some point in this homeowner's career. So being able to tell stories, I've had customers, with them crying on my shoulder there, after a significant loss, and just looking at that system and knowing that there was something that could have been done to prevent it. Telling those stories, having that experience in order to provide to them, that's really where that emotional connection comes from these days.
You know what? I feel that whatever you just said about the fishing industry, I think that relates to life as well. Like the first stage is survival. You were doing survival. You had to survive. Then the second stage is passion. Now you are enjoying your work. You do it with passion. And then third stage is luxury. You move into the premium stuff. And then the fourth stage is purpose. When you see a homeowner having their head on your shoulders and they are crying, now you are doing that thing for your purpose, not for your money, or that is part of life. But that last stage is purpose. That's how I can maybe put together what you have just said. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how did you transition into being a business owner eventually? Like, what was that call that you felt that, okay, I should have my own roofing company now? I am prepared.
Well, prepared, I wouldn't say it was definitely not the word. I don't think you're ever really prepared to do this. You may think you are, but however hard you think it is, you can 10x that for sure. So I was working for a larger company here in Louisiana, and I guess I was still in the, volume stage, wanting to catch a lot of fish stage at that point. And big storm hit South Florida. So I left my current employer to go chase that storm. Went down there, sold right at 3.4 million in about 8 months. Did very well, very successful. I had it in my head at that point, I was going to have a good little nest egg to to come back home to. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with that. If I had an open door to go back to work for my former employer. But I had this bright idea. I was going to go in business myself. Florida was really an eye-opening experience for me. Florida's so tightly regulated. Their building officials there are looking at so many factors that even here still in Louisiana, we're not even looking at. But it was eye-opening to stand in those yards in Cape Coral down there and look at those roofs and see if roof damage is as bad as I've seen it, anywhere else. But walking into those homes was a different story. Just seeing just a few spots on the ceiling. Old lady was sitting at the stove. I can remember in one situation and cooking eggs, and the old man sitting at the bar drinking coffee. Nothing happened. They had a generator power. Power wasn't even back on to the city of Cape Coral at that point. But in Homa, those people would have been sleeping in a camper in their driveway with as much roof damage as they had. The lack of interior damage was eye-opening for me. So, I figured with my nest egg to come in my commissions that I can, go in business myself and I can focus more on quality at that point. I knew that my prior employer was a big volume contractor and it was going to be hard to get some of those things across. And I had it in my head that, as I didn't want to make a piece of the pie anymore. I wanted the whole pie at that point. I came back from Florida. I went in business myself. That was back in early 2023. Ultimately, my nest egg never came. So I did get screwed on that deal there. Excuse my language. But, I never got that commission at that point. So it was very hard starting out early on because of that. But certainly I'm appreciative of those hard times because it's developed us into who we are now.